Good afternoon YouTube, Xfile 2708 back again with another video. As you can see from the title, something a little different today. This is a video response to my good friend Roy over at Blu Roy Movies. He put a video up yesterday talking about 10 remakes in his collection that he enjoys. I believe it was started possibly by Ash over at Popcorn and Horror. So links in the descriptions of both those channels, guys. Head over and show them some support with a sub. But yeah, 10 movies in my collection that are remakes that I enjoy. So these might not be, cream of the crop remakes, may not be, the highest of ratings on the likes of IMDb, but they're remakes that I've got in my collection that I personally enjoy watching and would happily recommend to other people. So I've got 10 movies, and I've also at the end got some honourable mentions. So I thought that there was a couple of remakes that I haven't got back in the collection since I've been recollecting, that were remakes that I really enjoyed. So I thought I'd tag those on to the end as honourable mentions, just for you guys. So, waffleage over. First one, guys. Remake of the Amityville Horror. This is from 2005. Obviously the original Amityville Horror being one of my all-time favourite horror movies. That's one from 1979 with James Brolin and Margaret Kidder. Absolutely superb film, that one. This remake, I may watch with slightly rose-tinted spectacles. Like I say, the original from 1979 being a massive favourite of mine, and this one from 2005 stars the lovely Melissa George. So there you go, there's my rose tinted spectacles on. She's all kinds of cute. So yeah, that puts an extra couple of marks on this remake for me. So yeah, stars Ryan Reynolds. With these guys, I'll basically show them, let you know the year, and maybe the odd other bits, but like I say, they're remakes on well-known originals, so most of you all know the background to these ones anyway. So that's my first one, guys, Amityville Horror from 2005. Next up, a remake from 2010, and we have The Crazies. So obviously this one's a remake of the original George A. Romero Crazies from 1973. Absolutely brilliant film, one myself and James talked about in our recent From Horror to Hollywood episode. But yeah, this is another really good remake. In fact, for me, and I think it was the same for James as well, we probably enjoy this remake more than George A. Romero's original. So if you haven't seen this remake from 2010, guys, wholeheartedly recommend checking it out. Next up, probably one of the, well, in my opinion, I know a lot of people like it, but for me personally, Dawn of the Dead 2004, one of the best remakes ever. There's probably another couple on this pile that I'm yet to show that are, for me, up there as the best remakes. Obviously, the remake of Dawn of the Dead from 1978, but wow, what a job they did on this remake from 2004. So again, if you've been on the fence with thinking, like a lot of people do, oh, remakes are always terrible. No, a long way off with this one. So this is an absolutely fantastic remake. So check it out if you haven't already, guys. Next up, from 1986. We have The Fly. So this is a remake of The Fly from 1958, I think it was. Where are we? Yeah, 1958. So this one's the remake with Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis in. One I rewatched recently after it made James's top 10 horrors of all time. I had to see what why it rated so highly. I hadn't seen it in many years, but yeah, I rewatched it. The chemistry between Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis, absolutely superb in this movie, and the practical effects in it as well. You know, when you start seeing the fly coming into effect with it taking over his body, and you see his fingernails falling out and his teeth dropping out, and there's some real cringe moments in it, but wow, what an absolutely superb remake this one is. So there we go, guys. 1986's The Fly. Next up, not everybody's cup of tea. This director, for me and for Ghost Lou, this is one of our go-to movies when we have a movie night, and it is Rob Zombie's remake of Halloween from 2007. So everybody knows what, or generally everybody knows what you're going to get with a Rob Zombie movie. Over the top gore and violence, and yeah, this 2007 remake of Halloween does not disappoint in that aspect at all. Absolutely brilliant version. I know sacrilege, but for me, you know, after the first few Halloweens, including Season of the Witch, because that's one of my personal favourites, this one for me ranks very highly in the Halloween franchise. So love the brutality of it, the mask that's in there as well, the way, you know, they show Michael when he was a kid, and then the twist at the end as well. So absolutely superb remake, this one. So there we go, 2007's Halloween. Next up, we have the remake of The Hills Have Eyes from 2006. Again, this one's up there as one of my all-time favourite remakes. Obviously, this is the remake of the original Wes Craven Hills Have Eyes from 1977. But again, this one is dark and it's brutal to fuck. The remake, Hills Have Eyes 2, not so good, but this one's probably in my top 4 remakes of all time. So again, if you've been on the fence with this 2006 remake, wholeheartedly I recommend checking it out. So that's that one. Next up, one of the most brutal remakes of all time. We have 2013's remake of Evil Dead. So obviously this is the remake of the original from 1981. But yeah, this is a real dark, gritty, brutal remake of the original. So for me, probably, let's have a look. Yeah, this is definitely probably in my top 2 remakes of all time. So probably Dawn of the Dead, 2004, followed by this one, and then the Hills of Eyes remake from 2006. If I had to, you know, sit and put together a top 3 remake. So again, if you haven't checked this one out, guys, it is superb. If you love the original Evil Dead, then yeah, you won't be disappointed with this one, as long as you can stomach the brutality that's in there. So there we go, 2013's Hills of Eyes. Next up, one that divides opinion, but for me, I thought it was a decent remake. 2019's Pet Sematary. So, remake of Stephen King's Pet Sematary from, was it 1989? Yeah, 1989. Like I say, not everybody likes this one, but you know, if you discount, oh well, you can't discount Stephen King's original, but if you watch it for a movie in its own right, if you completely forget about the original, then this one's a decent watch. So there we go, 2019's remake Pet Sematary. Had to have this one in there. This is one that myself and Ghost Lou always enjoy rewatching. So this is the remake of It. Again, another Stephen King movie from 1990. But yeah, this is the remake from 2017. So this is Chapter 1, and then 2019 they gave us Chapter 2. Obviously the original It with Tim Curry was done as like a TV miniseries. So for this remake, with it being such a long movie, they did it as Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 across a couple of years. But yeah, one that myself and Ghost Lou always enjoy rewatching, and I really like the you know, what they were able to do with the modern CGI effects and the overall creepiness of the movie. So yep, 2017's It Chapter 1. And then to finish, some people are going to not slate me, but they're going to call me out. They're going to say, X-File, that's not a remake. I'm pushing the boundaries on this one. Eli Roth's Green Inferno. Now, it's not officially classed as a remake of Cannibal Holocaust, but other people do consider it an unofficial remake, as do I, which is why this is my video and my list of remakes, my choices. So I'm putting it in my top 10. So there we go. Eli Roth's Green Inferno. If you've seen the original Video Nasty Cannibal Holocaust, probably one of the most talked about Video Nasties, one of the most controversial movies ever made. Eli Roth's Green Inferno is, I'd say, a homage to Cannibal Holocaust. The plane crash scene at the start of this movie, wow. I've seen some movies over the years with plane crashes in. I've never seen a movie do it as brutal and as scarily, is that a word? Scarily? As frightening. As Eli Roth has managed to do with the plane crash scene at the start of this movie. I saw it on the Fire Stick, I think, for the first time 12 months ago, and as soon as I saw it, this movie blew me away. Like I say, massive fan of the original Cannibal Holocaust. The plane crash scene at the start, amazing. And the cannibalism and brutality that's in this movie as well is it's stomach churning in places. But wow, like I say, if you're a fan of Cannibal Holocaust, you owe it to yourself to check out Eli Roth's Green Inferno from 2013. So there we go, guys. That's 10 remakes in my collection that that I would happily rewatch and recommend to other people. Very quickly, 4 honourable mentions, superb remakes. I haven't got them back in the collection as yet, but they were movies that I thought, right, let's recommend these as well. And if you want to check them out, by all means do so. So first one, guys, from 1990, Tom Savini's remake of Night of the Living Dead. So absolutely superb remake. It's been on my list to get back into my collection for a long time now. If you're a fan of the original Night of the Living Dead from the late 60s, I think it was, then the remake from 1990, Night of the Living Dead, is absolutely superb. So highly recommend that one. Next one, I think this was one that that Roy mentioned on Blu Roy Movies on his video. Invasion of the Body Snatchers from 1978 with Donald Sutherland. Again, remake of the original movie from 1956. I think it's had a release by Arrow, so that's when I'm looking at getting back into the collection and looking forward to rewatching again soon. Then from 2018, we've got the remake of Suspiria. Obviously, that's a remake of the movie from 1977. Again, that remake is absolutely superb, really benefits well, from modern cinematics, etc. Brilliant score to it as well, which, if you've seen the original Suspiria, you'll know how good a movie that was and what the musical score was like. And for me, they did as good a job as was done on the original. And then to finish, guys, one I don't hear talked about very often, but again, it's one of my favourite remakes that I do need to get back into the collection again. And it's a movie called Stepfather. So this was a remake done in 2009, and the original film was in 1981. So the Stepfather from 2009 stars Dylan Walsh as the stepfather. So he's your normal average Joe, if you like, that deliberately takes himself into a life with a woman that's widowed, and he's basically a killer that's in disguise. He's gone into families with divorced women that have got children and stuff like that, and all sorts of weird shit starts happening, he's most definitely not who he portrays himself to be. And if anyone in the neighbourhood or whatever starts sniffing around, asking questions and all that sort of thing, they disappear. So yeah, if you've not seen the original Stepfather from 1981, that's a brilliant film, as is the remake from 2009. So there we go, guys. That's my 10 of my favourite remakes in my collection, along with some honourable mentions. So let me know in the comments any there that you've seen before and that you enjoy. And yeah, it's an open tag, guys. So if anyone would like to do a video response to this one, sharing their some of their favourite remakes, then be brilliant to see you guys put a video up and shout me, let me know that you've done the response, and I'd love to have a watch through and see what your suggestions were. So there we go, guys. As always, please remember to like, comment and subscribe and all that good stuff, and I'll be back later on in the week with another video. Bye for now.